representing the Entourage from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing 231 pounds, is the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. Introducing the challenger from Cape Town, South Africa, weighing 223 pounds, Gabriel.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to the Over Limit pay-per-view still, and this is the Intercontinental Championship match between The Miz and Justin Gabriel. As you can probably tell, it's a tables match. Now, I was obviously meant to upload an episode of SmackDown, but for some reason Sony Vegas wouldn't render it properly. But in that episode of SmackDown, the stipulation was revealed. Basically what it was, if you remember, The Miz and Justin Gabriel were both put through tables by Sheamus and Ryback. Basically what happened was Triple H came down and said, right, hang on a minute, Miz, Gabriel, you seem to like being put through tables, so let's make the match at the pay-per-view a tables match. So here we go. It's not been the most in-depth or best of build-ups, you know, The Miz and Justin Gabriel. A few weeks ago back on SmackDown, Justin Gabriel won the #1 contender spot by winning an over-the-top rope Battle Royal challenge, and then he became #1 contender. And there wasn't a lot of interaction between The Miz and Gabriel. It was quite a rushed sort of feud just to get an Intercontinental Championship match on the card. But as you can see, it's going to be quite an interesting one. I like tables matches, but when you think of tables matches, you always think of the Dudley Boys, didn't you? It's so hard to come away from the Dudley Boys reference when it comes to table matches. The old "We Want Tables" chant still goes on, and that started back from when the Dudley Boys were putting Edge and Christian and the Hardys through tables. It's quite funny. I was watching WrestleMania 17 the other day, where they done TLC 2, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys. Jesus Christ, that was a match and a half. Some really cool table spots in there. But yeah, man. Hang on, just got to take a sip of your coffee. Yeah, the Over Limit pay-per-view. Ain't been bad so far. I've had some interesting matches, got some good ones coming up as well. Obviously we've got Punk versus Kane inside the steel cage for the WWE Championship. That's going to be quite a good one. And then you've got Ryback versus Sheamus in a last man standing match. That's actually on the next episode there. And as you can see, Justin Gabriel trying to put Miz through the table there, but Miz actually managed to climb off the table just in time. Now this match did go on for about half an hour. I've had to cut the match highlights in half. I've literally split the recording in two, because I wasn't going to upload and commentate over a 30-minute tables match. Jesus, so I've narrowed it down to about 10 to 12 minutes, which is a reasonable time. And as you can see, Miz is having a bit of fun there, knocking Gabriel out with the table. I'll take another sip of your coffee. Thirsty, man. It feels like I haven't actually recorded or commentated on videos for ages. Like I said in the last video, I've been busy with the move, and it's weird, I don't quite feel comfortable making videos in my new place yet. I was so into a routine at the old place, and the way everything was set up was just so comfortable. But in a new place it's a little bit more awkward because it's a bigger room, so the couch is further away from the TV and the computer. So like my recording position is a lot more awkward. It sounds strange, that's because it is, but it's quite weird trying to get into a new routine when it comes to recording on these videos. Plus the acoustics are different because it's tall to ceiling, so I can kind of like hear the echo of my own voice around the room, which is kind of weird. Gotta take another sip of coffee. What's wrong? Bloody hell. And sometimes these videos are quite hard to commentate over actually, and plus I usually talk about proper WWE like stuff during the videos, but because I've not had internet for 2 weeks, well more than 2 weeks, I've not been watching WWE, I haven't heard anything, I've not been able to go on the site, so I've not been able to download my podcasts, so I don't know what's going on, because usually I fill up all these videos with talk about what happened on the latest SmackDown or the latest Raw, but I can't do that. It's really weird. It's quite shocking how reliant I've become on internet. You know, having no internet for the last couple of weeks made me realise, Jesus, I rely on the internet too much. I've literally done nothing for the last 2 or so weeks. You know, even when it comes to like practical things like applying for jobs, it's forced me to go out and do stuff, which I suppose in its own way is quite good, but it's made job hunting a lot more difficult. I've had to go around Maz's house to use his internet to apply for jobs. I've actually had to go into the job centre to use their computers, and I hate going into the job centre. Whereas usually I'll just sit at home, browse all the job sites from home. But I've actually got to go to all these fucking scummy job centre places to do it there, and it's just a fucking nightmare. Plus, as the date I'm recording the audio for this is the 7th of March, which is when my internet service was meant to be back up and running. BT came round, they installed my Infinity Hub and the new little white box thing, and they rigged it all up, and then they went outside to connect it to like their little, it's like a little cabinet thing in the middle of the street where all the wires go in, and they said there's not enough room for my wires to go in there to connect up my broadband. So now it's going to take God knows how long for them to send out another engineer to climb up on top of their little telephone pole thingies and reconnect it. So I'm hoping I have internet in the next few days, which is all different for you guys because obviously if you're watching this I've got my internet, so I'm just hoping it's not too far in front. Fucking hell, BT are bastards, absolute fucking bastards. They've really pissed me about, and I bet they charged me the 4-month service even though I've not had it for about 2.5 weeks now. They can't charge me a 4-month surely. And now this WWE video has turned into an anti-BT rant. Brilliant. But as you can see, it's all go. We've had sledgehammers, steel chairs. Justin Gabriel's been busted open. He's trying to beat the shit out of me some more there, but plenty of tables in the ring. There you go. Justin Gabriel's gonna, he's just gonna prop it up in the corner. But the only thing that bugs me about the tables matches is the fact that there's not that many animations when it comes to putting people through the table. Like, as you can see, Justin, he just chucks the Miz on there, punches him a few times. Now you can't climb on the table and DDT them through it. You've got to go on a turnbuckle or try to do a move near the table and sort of hope that they fall through the table. You know, there's not that many table animations, man. It's a bit disappointing. And when I was playing this match, I was trying to end it in a really cool way. I just didn't want to do a shitty suplex through a table or something like that. What I tried to do was, you might have seen it in the first few seconds of the video actually, I propped the table up outside the ring and then tried to knock Justin Gabriel off the apron through the table. That was quite cool though, moonsault, but he missed it and went through the table himself. Yeah, I was trying to end the video on a pretty cool note with a pretty sick move through the table, but it's quite hard actually. And like I said in the last video, I've upped the difficulty as well to try and make it a bit harder, because admittedly this game is quite easy. I mean, I'm quite good at the game as well, but when the game's really easy, you know, I want these videos to be not as one-sided, if you know what I mean. I don't want it to be highlights of all one geezer dominating the match every time. I want them to use their finishes, and I want to have close kick-outs and things like that, but that rarely happens, to be honest. I think it's on Legend mode, or the equivalent to Legend mode, but the matches a lot of the time seem quite one-sided, which is a little bit annoying. Hopefully when WWE 14 comes out, because now Take-Two or 2K Games have got the franchise, I'm hoping they make a really sick game. And I know what 2K are like with their sliders when it comes to like options, like they do with their NBA games, like the sliders to adjust their difficulties. You've got so many different sliders. I hope they do something quite similar with the difficulty levels on WWE 14, and I hope they don't fuck about with it too much. I kind of hope they keep Universe mode, but I would like them to bring back GM mode if possible. GM mode was sick. The last game that GM mode was on was SmackDown vs Raw 2008, which I've still got because I fucking love that game because of GM mode. You just simply play the role of Teddy Long or Jonathan Coachman, and you just run the show. You have to find which superstars you want to do your photo shoots, your charity events. You have to pull in the TV ratings, you have to sell the tickets for pay-per-views, you have to keep the feuds going. The only reason I don't play that game now is because the roster is so out of date. I mean, Great Khali's one of the top guys, Umaga was one of the top guys back then. It's a good game, but the roster is so out of date, and I'll just kind of hope that in WWE 14, 2K or yeah, was it 2K games or whatever, or Take-Two, I hope that they bring some kind of GM mode back into it, man. That would be quite cool, but I've got quite used to the universe mode. I mean, this is universe mode 3.0, is it, or is it 2.0? Well, I've got quite used to it, and I like the fact I don't do the Road to WrestleMania bullshit anymore. That was just annoying. Here we go, Justin Gabriel looking for the 450 splash, lands it. That would have been cool if that was through a table. 450 splash, man, such a sick move. And if you've not seen Adrian Neville, there's something to YouTube after you've watched this video. Adrian Neville was down in NXT, a wrestler named after Gary Neville, actually. True story, that. But he does like a corkscrew 450 splash, and it's the most amazing top rope move I've ever seen. Fucking quality, and he's English. That's a reason to get behind Adrian Neville down in NXT. It's fucking quality. I was reading on one of my wrestling news sites that he did name himself after Gary Neville. He's a Man United fan, and when Triple H or Vince McMahon said, right, you've got to pick your wrestling name, Adrian, it's quite a British name, and Gareth Neville, and Neville because of Gary Neville. Skull crushing finale through the table. Good stuff, man. Miz retains his championship. That's quite a good move to finish the match on. As you can see, we unlocked an achievement for it, but that's a good way to finish the match off there. And as you can see, Miz retains his championship. The next match on the pay-per-view is Sheamus versus Ryback in the last man standing match. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to leave a rating. It does help. I do appreciate it. In your comment section, let us know what you think of the pay-per-view so far. Who do you think is going to win out, Ryback versus Sheamus? And don't forget to check out Adrian Neville, next up and comer, next Jeff Hardy, I'm telling you. See you later, guys. Take it easy.